me when Ron Rivera decided to punt the ball on fourth down with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left, I think it
Hmm.
was. What were you thinking?
To be honest with you, I was like, well, here's the thing. Like the defense was playing so well. They played so well, and I mean, we knew that Jimmy Graham was going to score. Right? I just knew that was going to happen. Right? So that was out of the way. And I mean, it
It's
was a
out of the way.
possibility. It was a possibility they could have probably done it again. But the defense was playing so well that I was concerned, but not overly concerned. I wasn't as concerned as I was as giving Brady the ball back at the end of that game. You know what I mean? Like that one had me like literally jumping off my seat. But this one
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this might not work out in our favor, but we got a chance here. You know what I mean? So you know,
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I was nervous. The party, I was at a party in the Queen City actually, and it what the let's just say that those Panther fans were not happy with the decision.
right? Okay,
They did not get it. Now, not to say that I was some phenomenal kind of football insight. I was nervous as hell,
right, right,
but
right,
at that point, I was so nervous, I was just silent.
right.
I was like, I wasn't cry. I was almost on the verge of crying, I think.
You know,
Uh,
that's the thing I was thinking. I was more concerned with what Cam and the offense were going to be able to do once they got the ball back. Because for whatever reason, I was like, okay, I'm 70% sure that the defense are going to do their thing. Worst comes to worst, it'll be a
right,
field
right.
goal. Blah blah blah. I'm just nervous about this offense because it wasn't really explosive. They weren't really doing a lot on offense up until that point. And I was like, okay, well, we get the ball back. This is where it's gonna come to a head. Like Cam gonna have to step up right here. Luckily, he did. You know what I mean? So
Well,
like
I,
it
I
worked
think
out.
that shows you a couple of things about this call that, and I mean, I got to reflect on it afterwards, and that's why I'm not the coach getting paid the big bucks.
Right, right,
Is
right.
that he knows the pulse of the team well enough to understand that what is that we can get kind of shake off these jitters for a second and get
Hmm.
them a fresh set of downs, because if you go for it on fourth down, you put it all on one play,
That's right. Right.
and that's it's over if you don't make that play. And
Hmm.
there was nothing on that drive that indicated that that offense could make that play at that
You're right.
moment.
You're absolutely
um
right.
and so it did turn out to work as uh, a phenomenal call. I guess the one thing though that did upset me, and I don't know if you noticed this, but the Panther team and offense seemed to lobby for staying on the field a little too much.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
saw Rivera saying, "Get off the damn field."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he tried to play this off in the press conference, saying, well, maybe it was right because then it didn't give them any time at the end.
Right.
But was there a little dissension in the ranks at that moment?
I think so. But this is because you
You
got
don't like to hear that, though. Nobody
right.
has anybody said that. I don't know if they have.
Well, you got to look at it from both sides. So, like, the players are like this season has just been so fantastic, especially like from the way it started. You think about this stuff, and like when you're feeling it, like, oh, you know what, we can do this. And you see a confidence from the players, and the coach is like, whoa, 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 look, I understand where you're coming from, but no, we're not gonna do that. Like, we need to go ahead and seal this one out. Okay,
Yeah,
let him
but
fill out.
it,
You
it
know,
turned out to be a blunder in some ways
yeah,
because we squandered the 2 minute warning
right,
in a way that could have forced them, given us kind of saved the timeout.
right, right.
So I did not like that as much, because what I did like is this, is I like that Ron made that call.
Yeah.
And I like it not because necessarily I knew that it was going to work. I like that Ron Rivera made a call and he said, I'm the big dog here.
Hmm.
I'm not going to let the crowds or the media with this Riverboat Ron,
Yeah.
is that he's a tough guy, man.
Oh yeah,
And
85
he,
years. I mean, come on now. This dude is he's been around the block a few times, So
yeah,
yeah,
he is no softy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I was really impressed with the nature of that. And that
yeah,
seemed to show a lot of poise and confidence in himself
Oh yeah.
that I was really impressed with.
And the fact that this game was really big. Like this could have decided the season for us. You know what I mean? This would have been the deciding factor of whether our season ended this Sunday or not. And I mean, really, you gotta really think about that. You gotta be like, you know what? Do I just roll the dice here and or are we playing for the postseason? And I mean, people can be mad and people can be upset, but they're not upset now because we won the game. You know what
No,
I mean?
no, it
So,
turned out to be the
right.
gutsiest, ballsiest call.
Oh yes,
Um, but I think also what was great about that call too was is he committed to our identity of a
yes,
defensive team.
yes.
What up,
And
fellas? What
Hey
hey,
Joe,
Joe,
better late than never.
that's
that's
right,
Better
that's
right.
late
right.
than
We're-
never.
We
Yes.
were just discussing the fourth down, and we're just finishing up the Saints game, and we're just discussing the nature of the Ron Rivera call and the wisdom behind it, the gutsiness behind it, but also kind of a little dissension from the players who did not seem to want to go along with it initially. What did you think about that call, Joey?
I think that was the call of the year, in my opinion.
Okay.
There have been a lot of questions about, Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, this and that, and he's sort of taken that moniker and run with it. In this game, he showed tremendous wisdom and unfathomable confidence in that defense. He
And
knew,
himself, and himself.
Hmm.
right,
Oh yeah.
and he knew beyond a shadow of a doubt
Oh yeah.
that he was
Absolutely.
going to get the ball back.
Hmm.
And I think, in addition to that, if you look at the flip side of the coin, he knew that that offense could take the ball down the field with one more shot.
Hmm.
And I think the experiences that we've had in the past, for example, the Patriots game, I think he really knew the offense could do it. He knew they played poorly for the most part, for the bulk of the game, but he knew that they could um, get that last drive and put it in the end. Great call, great call. I
Yeah,
give all the
Oh,
kudos in the world.
absolutely.
I like that. I like the call of the year for the Carolina Panthers and Ron
Hmm.
Rivera. And you know